sitting in the room and allowed this man to expose himself to her little girl and sat there.
Your sister now blames her daughter.
She blames her daughter. She told her daughter how she hates her for this, how she hates her for ruining her perfect little family because she was getting ready to give birth to his baby. Just all types of stuff that is so unacceptable.
So he's in jail now.
He's in jail.
Prison.
And you know what? And if this lie detector test comes back that she had knowledge, she needs to go to jail with him.
And how you said her story has changed?
Her story has changed about 50 times. First, she had no knowledge of anything ever happening. Then she tells me she didn't blame her daughter, but her daughter's at my home now. And she's telling me stories like she's melting down, like how she feels so horrible and she feels like everything's her fault. And, you know, like I talk to her and I'm like, honey, I don't ever want to hear you say that again because you are a child. And that is a grown man. You are not at fault for anything. And then she tells me, you know, she's hurt by her mom choosing somebody over her. Of course, you know, like their mom sees them once a week for 2 hours, and it's supervised by me or my friend, and that's all she sees. And her older daughter doesn't even want to go to visitation 99% of the time. And I talked to the social worker, and the social worker told me not to force her to go.
Well, you know, before we go into much deeper in the story, I want to say thank you for stepping up and
Absolutely.
protecting your
Absolutely. Somebody needs to be a voice for these children.
Well, which you would think would be the mother.
Exactly.
But thank God they have a decent aunt. Now, your niece has also said that her fiance exposed himself. There's a younger child.
There's a younger child.
Who, let's just say, single-digit age, and that he exposed his private area to this little girl.
Yeah, to supposedly cure her curiosity. She was curious about the different parts between boys and girls, and supposedly, from what I heard from my nieces, which I believe them, they're children, they're not going to make this up. So what I heard was that she was sitting in the room and allowed this man to expose himself to her little girl and sat there and just let it happen and did nothing about it.
When you hear these stories about your sister, somebody, you know, you obviously grew up together, right?
Yeah.
Does it shock you?
It makes me sick. It makes me sick. Yeah. I'm disgusted. You know, I've reached out to counselors for them. I've been taking them to the Rape Crisis Center. On the way to the Rape Crisis Center...
Is this your sister in the hallway or something?
I believe so. On the way to the Rape Crisis Center, you know, her...
What is she so distraught about?
On the way to the Rape Crisis Center, her youngest daughter had told me that she goes, Nene. I'm like, what, baby? And she goes, my mom let me smoke a cigarette before. And I turned my head so fast, and I'm like, excuse me? And this is her younger daughter, the little one that I have. And my first reaction was to call her and cuss her out. Like, what is she talking about right now? And then she's like, it was so long ago. And I'm like, well, how long ago could it have possibly been? Because she's a single digit age. You know what I mean? Like, and then she's like, well, she was like 3 when it happened. I'm like, that's even worse than right now.
She was 3?
She was 3 at the time.
Smoking a cigarette. So your sister took a lie detector test about having knowledge of the sexual abuse.
Yeah.
What if she fails?
Then I'm prepared to fight for full custody of these kids. They need to be with me and they need to be protected.
All right, so, I'm going to go back. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Christina?
Yes.
What's the matter?
I'm tired of being... I'm tired of everybody looking at me like I'm the bad guy. I didn't know this stuff was going on. If I knew, I would have done something.
You didn't know know your fiance was having sex with your daughter?
When he got his job, I had a gut feeling that he was cheating on me. I thought it was one of his coworkers.
Why did you have a gut feeling he was cheating on you?
Because he was always on his phone, always messaging, and I'm the jealous type.
And instead of being some woman, it was your daughter.
Yeah. And when I was sitting here, and they brought up different stories. His coworker was dating a 20-something-year-old man.
Who brought this up?
They both did.
Your daughter,
and
fiance.
I'm sorry, my daughter and
Your fiance.
my fiance. Yes.
Is he still your fiance?
No.
Why'd you break up?
Because of everything that happened. I don't want to be with somebody that's gonna do that to my kid.
Do you still love him?
Of course, I still love him. I have a baby by him. I was pregnant at the time all this happened.
You still love him even though he had sex with your underage
I
child?
love him. I have love for him, but I don't want to be with him. I don't want to lose my kid.
But after the allegation came up, you stayed living with him.
No, he was only there that weekend. The weekend that they took him
But
out
you
of my
stayed with him after you found
But
out
I
about
took
the
him to
allegation.
the police station to turn him in. I drove him down there to turn him in.
Okay, let's go out so we can be on stage and we can talk to your sister also.